Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A group of nearly parallel lines of electromagnetic radiation. A column of light, as from a beacon. Extend or spread outward from a center or focus or inward towards a center. Exposed to radiation. The syllable naming the second, supertonic, note of any major scale in psalmization. A branch of an umbel or an umbelliform inflorescence. Any of the stiff bony spines in the fin of a fish. Cartilaginous fishes having horizontally flattened bodies and enlarged wing-like pectoral fins with gills on the underside. Most swim by moving the pectoral fins. Emit as rays. That tower rays a laser beam for miles across the sky. Mathematics. A straight line extending from a point. A group of nearly parallel lines of electromagnetic radiation. Emit light. Be bright, as of the sun or a light. The fire beamed on their faces. A column of light, as from a beacon. A signal transmitted along a narrow path. Guides airplane pilots in darkness or bad weather. Experience a feeling of well-being or happiness, as from good health or an intense emotion. She was beaming with joy. Broadcast over the airwaves, as in radio or television. Have a complexion with a strong bright color, such as red or pink. A gymnastic apparatus used by women gymnasts. Express with a beaming face or smile. He beamed his approval. Long thick piece of wood or metal or concrete, etc., used in construction. Nautical, breadth amidships. Smile radiantly. Express joy through one's facial expression. The broad side of a ship. They sighted land on the port beam. A group of nearly parallel lines of electromagnetic radiation. A column of light, as from a beacon. A column of light, as from a beacon. Medicine, the treatment of disease, especially cancer, by exposure to a radioactive substance. Pavlovian conditioning, the elicitation of a conditioned response by stimulation similar but not identical to the original stimulus. Physiology, the spread of sensory neural impulses in the cortex. The apparent enlargement of a bright object when viewed against a dark background. The condition of being exposed to radiation. A column of light, as from a beacon. A column of light, as from a beacon. An aggressive remark directed at a person like a missile and intended to have a telling effect. She threw shafts of sarcasm. The hollow spine of a feather. A revolving rod that transmits power or motion. A column of light, as from a beacon. Defeat someone through trickery or deceit. The main, mid section of a long bone. Architecture, upright consisting of the vertical part of a column. Obscene terms for penis. A long pointed rod used as a tool or weapon. A line that forms the length of an arrow pointer. A long rod or pole, especially the handle of an implement or the body of a weapon like a spear or arrow. A long vertical passage sunk into the earth, as for a mine or tunnel. A vertical passageway through a building, as for an elevator. Equip with a shaft. A column of light, as from a beacon. Spread into new habitats and produce variety or variegate. Extend or spread outward from a center or focus or inward towards a center. Spokes radiate from the hub of the wheel. Arranged like rays or radii, radiating from a common center. Experience a feeling of well-being or happiness, as from good health or an intense emotion. Her face radiated with happiness. Have a complexion with a strong bright color, such as red or pink. Cause to be seen by emitting light as if in rays. Having rays or ray-like parts as in the flower heads of daisies. Issue or emerge in rays or waves. Heat radiated from the metal box. Send out rays or waves. The sun radiates heat. Send out real or metaphoric rays. She radiates happiness. Give spiritual insight to, in religion. Expose to radiation. Irradiate food. Cast rays of light upon. A rare heavy polyvalent metallic element that resembles manganese chemically and is used in some alloys, is obtained as a byproduct in refining molybdenum. Ancient Egyptian sun god with the head of a hawk. A universal creator. He merged with the god Amen as Amen-Ra to become the king of the gods. The syllable naming the second, supertonic, note of any major scale in psalmization. Radiation consisting of waves of energy associated with electric and magnetic fields resulting from the acceleration of an electric charge. Radiation consisting of waves of energy associated with electric and magnetic fields resulting from the acceleration of an electric charge. Radiation consisting of waves of energy associated with electric and magnetic fields resulting from the acceleration of an electric charge. The quality of being luminous, emitting or reflecting light. Having abundant light or illumination. They played as long as it was light. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. Weak and likely to lose consciousness. Felt light in the head. Marked by temperance and indulgence. A light eater. Having relatively few calories. Light, or light, beer. A condition of spiritual awareness, divine illumination. Follow God's light. Fall to somebody by assignment or lot. Physics, electromagnetic radiation that can produce a visual sensation. The light was filtered through a soft glass window. Used of vowels or syllables, pronounced with little or no stress. A syllable that ends in a short vowel is a light syllable. Cause to start burning, subject to fire or great heat. With few burdens. Experienced travelers travel light. Start or maintain a fire in. A divine presence believed by Quakers to enlighten and guide the soul. Moving easily and quickly, nimble. The dancer was light and graceful. Make lighter or brighter. This lamp lightens the room a bit. The visual effect of illumination on objects or scenes is created in pictures. He could paint the lightest light and the darkest dark. A device for lighting or igniting fuel or charges or fires. Do you have a light? To come to rest, settle. Misfortune lighted upon him. Of sleep, easily disturbed. In a light doze. casual and unrestrained in sexual behavior. He was told to avoid loose, or light, women. Of sound or color, free from anything that dulls or dims. A light lilting voice like a silver bell. A light from a horse. Silly or trivial. Light banter. Any device serving as a source of illumination. He stopped the car and turned off the lights. Less than the correct or legal or full amount, often deliberately so. A light pound. Used of color, having a relatively small amount of coloring agent. Light blue. Begin to smoke. An illuminated area. He stepped into the light. A particular perspective or aspect of a situation. Although he saw it in a different light, he still did not understand. A person regarded very fondly. The light of my life. A visual warning signal. They saw the light of the beacon. Characterized by or emitting light. A room that is light when the shutters are open. Demanding little effort, not burdensome. Light housework. Designed for ease of movement or to carry little weight. Light aircraft. Easily assimilated in the alimentary canal, not rich or heavily seasoned. A light diet. Having little importance. Losing his job was no light matter. Intended primarily as entertainment, not serious or profound. Light verse. Mental understanding as an enlightening experience. He finally saw the light. Of comparatively little physical weight or density. A light load. Of little intensity or power or force. The light touch of her fingers. Of the military or industry, using, or being, relatively small or light arms or equipment. Light infantry. Physics, chemistry, not having atomic weight greater than average. Light water as ordinary water. Psychologically light, especially free from sadness or troubles. A light heart. Public awareness. It brought the scandal to light. Used of soil, loose and large-grained in consistency. Light soil. Very thin and insubstantial. Light summer dresses. Not great in degree or quantity or number. A light sentence. Physics, electromagnetic radiation that can produce a visual sensation. Physics, electromagnetic radiation that can produce a visual sensation. Extend in scope or range or area. The law was extended to all citizens. Offer verbally. Extend my greetings. Expand the influence of. The king extended his rule to the eastern part of the continent. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The war extended over 5 years. Extend or stretch out to a greater or the full length. Extend the TV antenna. Increase in quantity or bulk by adding a cheaper substance. Extend the casserole with a little rice. Thrust or extend out. Extend a hand. Continue or extend. The disease extended into the remote mountain provinces. Cause to move at full gallop. Reach outward in space. The awning extends several feet over the sidewalk. Use to the utmost. Exert vigorously or to full capacity. He really extended himself when he climbed Kilimanjaro. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. My memory extends back to my 4th year of life. Make available. Provide. Extend a loan. Lengthen in time. Cause to be or last longer. She extended her visit by another day. Extend one's limbs or muscles, or the entire body. Open or straighten out. Unbend. Can we extend the legs of this dining table? Prolong the time allowed for payment of. Extend the loan. Be in charge of. The introductory section of a story. It was an amusing lead-in to a very serious matter. Take somebody somewhere. We lead him to our chief. Produce as a result or residue. Be conducive to. The use of computers in the classroom lead to better writing. Lead, as in the performance of a composition. A jumper that consists of a short piece of wire. It was a tangle of jumper cables and clip leads. A news story of major importance. Travel in front of. Go in advance of others. Lead, extend, or afford access. Move ahead of others, in time or space. Preside over. A soft, heavy, toxic, malleable metallic element. Bluish-white when freshly cut but tarnishes readily to dull gray. The children were playing with lead soldiers. Cause something to pass or lead somewhere. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. Be ahead of others. Be the first. An actor who plays a principal role. Evidence pointing to a possible solution. The police are following a promising lead. Thin strip of metal used to separate lines of type in printing. Restraint consisting of a rope, or light chain, used to restrain an animal. The timing of ignition relative to the position of the piston in an internal combustion engine. An indication of potential opportunity. A good lead for a job. Mixture of graphite with clay in different degrees of hardness. The marking substance in a pencil. An advantage held by a competitor in a race. He took the lead at the last turn. A position of being the initiator of something and an example that others will follow, especially in the phrase, take the lead. He takes the lead in any group. Baseball. The position taken by a base runner preparing to advance to the next base. He took a long lead off first. Cause to undertake a certain action. Sports. The score by which a team or individual is winning. Tend to or result in. This remark lead to further arguments among the guests. The angle between the direction a gun is aimed and the position of a moving target, correcting for the flight time of the missile. The playing of a card to start a trick in bridge. The lead was in the dummy. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes. Move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape. Fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. Pass, fair, or elapse, of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw, a ball, to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another, of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. A small stream. Have a particular form. The story or argument runs as follows. Perform as expected when applied. Does this old car still run well? Compete in a race. He is running the marathon this year. Become undone. A row of unraveled stitches. She got a run in her stocking. A score in baseball made by a runner touching all 4 bases safely. The Yankees scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Run, stand, or compete for an office or a position. Who's running for treasurer this year? Come unraveled or undone as if by snagging. Her nylons were running. Direct or control. Projects, businesses, etc. She is running a relief operation in the Sudan. Extend or continue for a certain period of time. The film runs 5 hours. A race between candidates for elective office. He is raising money for a Senate run. Include as the content, broadcast or publicize. Pass over, across, or through. The act of testing something. Travel a route regularly. Carry out a process or program, as on a computer or a machine. Run a new program on the Mac. Flee. Take to one's heels, cut and run. If you see this man, run. Cause something to pass or lead somewhere. Have a tendency or disposition to do or be something, be inclined. These dresses run small. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. Service runs all the way to Cranberry. The act of running, traveling on foot at a fast pace. He broke into a run. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. Keep company. The heifers run with the bulls to produce offspring. Change or be different within limits. Interest rates run from 5 to 10%. Deal in illegally, such as arms or liquor. Continue to exist. A race run on foot. She broke the record for the half-mile run. An unbroken series of events. Nicholas had a run of birdies. Reduce or cause to be reduced from a solid to a liquid state, usually by heating. The pouring forth of a fluid. American football. A play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. The defensive line braced to stop the run. Be diffused. These dyes and colors are guaranteed not to run. Move along, of liquids. Progress by being changed. Run through your presentation before the meeting. Pursue for food or sport, as of wild animals. The dogs are running deer. An unbroken chronological sequence. The play had a long run on Broadway. A regular trip. The ship made its run in record time. A short trip. Take a run into town. Be affected by, be subjected to. Run at temperature. Be operating, running or functioning. The car is still running, turn it off. Carry out. Run an errand. Cause an animal to move fast. Run the dogs. Cause to perform. Run a subject. Change from one state to another. Run amok. Cover by running. Run a certain distance. Make without a miss. Move about freely and without restraint, or act as if running around in an uncontrolled way. Who are these people running around in the building? Move fast by using one's feet, with one foot off the ground at any given time. Don't run, you'll be out of breath. Occur persistently. Musical talent runs in the family. Run with the ball, in such sports as football. Sail before the wind. Set animals loose to graze. The continuous period of time during which something, a machine or a factory, operates or continues in operation. The assembly line was on a 12-hour run. The production achieved during a continuous period of operation, of a machine or factory, etc. A daily run of 100,000 gallons of paint. Travel rapidly, by any, unspecified, means. She always runs to Italy, because she has a lover there. Unrestricted freedom to use. He has the run of the house. Provide with choice or abundant food or drink. Don't worry about the expensive wine, I'm treating. Provide treatment for. The doctor treated my broken leg. Something considered choice to eat. Interact in a certain way. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The new book treats the history of China. Subject to a process or treatment, with the aim of readying for some purpose, improving, or remedying a condition. Treat the water so it can be drunk. An occurrence that causes special pleasure or delight. Engage in negotiations in order to reach an agreement. They had to treat with the king. Provide with a gift or entertainment. Grandmother always treated us to the circus. Regard or consider in a specific way. I treated his advances as a joke. A natural prolongation or projection from a part of an organism, either animal or plant. A bony process. A writ issued by authority of law. Usually compels the defendant's attendance in a civil suit. Failure to appear results in a default judgment against the defendant. Shape, form, or improve a material. Process iron. Deliver a warrant or summons to someone. He was processed by the sheriff. A sustained phenomenon or one marked by gradual changes through a series of states. Events now in process. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. He was warned that the district attorney would process him. March in a procession. They processed into the dining room. A particular course of action intended to achieve a result. It was a process of trial and error. Psychology. The performance of some composite cognitive activity. An operation that affects mental contents. The process of thinking. A mental process that you are not directly aware of. The process of denial. Subject to a process or treatment, with the aim of readying for some purpose, improving, or remedying a condition. Process cheese. Deal with in a routine way. Process alone. Perform mathematical and logical operations on data, according to programmed instructions in order to obtain the required information. The results of the elections were still being processed when he gave his acceptance speech. One of the names for notes of a musical scale in psalmization. A small stalk bearing a single flower of an inflorescence, an ultimate division of a common peduncle. A small stalk bearing a single flower of an inflorescence, an ultimate division of a common peduncle. A small sharp-pointed tip resembling a spike on a stem or leaf. The series of vertebrae forming the axis of the skeleton and protecting the spinal cord. Any sharply pointed projection. The part of a book's cover that encloses the inner side of the book's pages and that faces outward when the book is shelved. The title and author were printed on the spine of the book. A sharp rigid animal process or appendage, as a porcupine quill or a ridge on a bone or a ray of a fish fin. Any of numerous fishes of the class Chondrichthyes characterized by a cartilaginous skeleton and placoid scales. Sharks, rays, skates. Any of numerous fishes of the class Chondrichthyes characterized by a cartilaginous skeleton and placoid scales. Sharks, rays, skates.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.